Hi guys, Squirrel here, and welcome to another Euro Truck video. Now, you're probably wondering where my videos have been. Squirrel, you've not been making videos, mate. What's been going on? Well, today, I'm going to take a journey and we're going to talk about some personal stuff. Which is why I'm going to call this video a personal journey. Because this is a journey when I'm just going to talk about what's been happening to me in the last couple of months or so since I was properly making videos. We are in Latvia. I'm in a Volvo FH Globetrotter XL 550 horsepower. This is the Ohaha, if you like, Volvo. It's maintained by Pendragon now. Link to this truck is in my mod spreadsheet. Just look for Ohaha or Pendragon. You should find it in there. Very easy to download. It's in the Steam Workshop anyway. You can pretty much soon find it. We're in Latvia and we're going to take a journey over to Belarus, in fact. So here we are. That's going to be our route today. Nothing too arduous, just a shade under 500 Ks. Should give us time to talk about what I want to talk about. We're hauling a trailer with Ivecos on, which is bizarre because these Ivecos here, these racing ones, I've actually seen these in real life at Truckfest. There's two of them on the back. Payload is what, about 8 tons, something like that. Need to pick up some fuel on the way, so let's have a quick look at the route. It looks like we can grab some fuel here. If not, then we'll have to get it coming in through, however you say that, Vitebsk, or Weetabix as I like to call it. Other than that, oh yeah, so here's the interior. We've got Wally down here, we've got Pac-Man up there, we've got some weird guy who's paying me money. Don't ask questions, he said, and I'll double your money. I was like, oh, okay. I'll take that. Whatever. Don't expect him to be very talkative. Let's get this thing out of here. That is a steering axle. Okay. That's going to change things a little bit. I like steering axles, but if you're not expecting it, if you don't notice it on the trailer, it really can throw you. Like, for example, coming out this archway here. The thing just turns, and if you're not careful, it'll end up in the wall. So let's talk about some personal stuff. 2017. 2017 was a good year for me. On the whole, it was a good year. I went to a lot of places, and I met a lot of people. I've never been much of a traveller, never really travelled very much, but in 2017 I found myself with a number of opportunities that allowed me to travel. I went to McLaren's headquarters. You remember the world's fastest gaming video? Did that. Saw some cool stuff at McLaren. Went to the Monaco Grand Prix, which was just amazing. I went to New York, first time in my life. I went to Flight Sim near New York. I started to learn to fly a plane, which was incredible, and a lot of other stuff, like lots of things happened in 2017, as well as all the videos that I made and the streams I did and all the other bits and pieces. Went to Gamescom, you know, which I've been going to every year for a few years now. Everything was going well. In November, I flew out to Prague. I went to SCS, invited me over. I've not been to SCS since, what, 2015? Something like that. Since I last made that SCS video. They invited me out. There were 20th year anniversary. And they were like, why don't you come over, help us celebrate? There's a bunch of people here from the press. Bring your cameras, have a look at the new offices, all that good stuff. So I did. I went out there, saw the new offices, interviewed a number of the team people, like, you know, map editors, physics guys, the guy who writes the AI, you know, testers, all kinds of stuff. Had a blast. Had a really, really nice party. Filmed a load of stuff. Flew back from Prague. I think it was on something like the Thursday or the Friday that I came home, I can't remember. And on the Monday morning, shade after 9 o'clock, my phone rings. It's my brother. Pick up the phone, and he says to me, Paul, he said, there's no easy way of saying this. He said, but Mum has passed away during the night. To which I said, what? He said, yeah. He said, Mum has passed away during the night. He said, I got a phone call from the nurse 30 minutes ago. He said, I'm phoning to tell you. He said, obviously, we need to find out what happened. He said, but she's dead. And I was in shock, you know, completely in shock, this phone call. But bizarrely, this is the same way that it happened with my dad. With my dad, I got a phone call 11 o'clock in the morning to say, your dad's dead. To which my answer was, what? Yeah, your dad, with my mum, she passed away in her sleep. With my dad, he was watching TV and had a massive heart attack, collapsed on the floor and was dead within 30 seconds. So they ran a post-mortem on my mum to find out, you know, the cause of death. And basically, she had heart failure. It's not the same as a heart attack. It's a heart failure. She had a very calm expression on her face. Which basically means that she simply died in her sleep. Very calmly, her heart just stopped working, and she wouldn't have even known about it. She just died. Possibly the most peaceful death you could ever wish for. Unfortunately, it means that, you know, you don't get to say goodbye. You know, you don't get to there's always that kind of conversation that you have in your own head. You know, when did I last see her? What did I last say? Did we part on good terms? Was it, you know, what was the last thing? All this stuff racing through your mind because now you have no opportunity to say anything anymore to that person. And obviously when it's your mum, I'm starting to get slightly emotional recording this, but I'm at the point now where I can talk about this and keep control of myself because, you know, losing your mum is, to anybody that's ever experienced it, as you know, it's a difficult thing. If you've not experienced it, you probably only imagine that it's a difficult thing, but it is. And talking about it is not easy. Because as soon as you start talking about it, you start to relive and recreate the moments in your mind, and the emotions come back with it, of the things that have happened. My mum was a smoker. She wasn't a smoker before she met my dad. But my dad was a smoker, and because of my dad, she started smoking. And she basically smoked more or less for the rest of her life. My mum was suffering from dementia. She was suffering from what they call vascular dementia, which is effectively, you know, through smoking or other means, it's a narrowing of the arteries that feed the brain with blood and nutrients, and it leads to dementia. And she had vascular dementia. She was already, it'd been happening for about 7 or 8 years. I'd had to sort of watch as her memories just slowly eroded. It was like her timeline in her head was going backwards. She couldn't remember short-term things at all. She found it very difficult to make new memories. She'd repeat herself, ask questions that she'd ask you 2-3 minutes ago. All just constantly. It was bad. But she could remember something from my childhood, you know? She could remember when I was 5 and tell me stories about that, no problem. But even that was starting to get eroded. You could see that going back, she'd started to forget things that I did. My wife's name, you know, mixing my kids' names up, like all kinds of stuff. Ultimately, dementia was going to kill her anyway, one way or another. But it was just a matter of waiting for the inevitable to happen. But to get a phone call like that to say your mum is dead there's no way of putting this, it's shocking. My mum got to the point where the dementia, one day she'd been smoking for 2/3 of her life. She tried to give up smoking a number of times, never managed it for more than a few weeks, ever. And then one day, she stopped smoking. Just boom, out of the blue. I think that it was the dementia. The dementia had just eaten away that part of the brain that just said, you need another cigarette. You know, you've been a smoker all your life, you need another cigarette. And she just stopped. And that was possibly the only positive thing that ever came out of it, was the fact that she forgot that she was a smoker. She said she smoked because it calmed her nerves, because I said to her, why you smoke, Mum? You know, just give it up. It calms my nerves, you know. She was quite an anxious person, really, I guess, and it would calm her nerves, she said. I mean, the fact that nicotine is a stimulant, I don't know. I don't get it, but it worked for her. So after trying to get her to stop a number of times, in the end I just gave up and let her get on with it. It's her life. But anyway, I got this phone call from my brother to say, Mum's dead. So then you get the shock, comes over you, you get off the phone. A few hours later, you know, you start you're thinking about it, you're telling your wife, you're telling everybody else. And then comes the disbelief, like you don't want to believe it. It can't be true. This is crazy. It doesn't make any sense. How can she be dead? I spoke to her, you know, a week ago. Well, how could she be dead? But then after that, you know, you realize that it's true. There's no getting around it. Then comes the organization. Like, you immediately got to go into this, you know, the post-mortem's got to get done, but then the funeral needs to happen. You know, we need to organize the funeral. We need to let everybody know about the funeral. We need to prepare the funeral program, for which you need photographs. So there was me sitting there with Microsoft Word, editing the funeral program, all 4 sides of it, putting in a nice poem, you know, that you get from the internet, putting some words down onto the program, and then trying to get photographs. And, you know, with all the planning that goes on trying to organize a funeral, you don't actually get time to grieve properly. There's so much to do that you don't really get time to grieve. But then you start to dig through the old photographs, and that's when it starts to hit you. That's when you see your mum when she was younger, healthier, the memories of the time that you shared with her, the places that you went to, the things that she did for you personally. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult. I would sit there with photographs on the floor, tears running down my face. And, you know, the frustrations are real. It's not fair. It's, you know, all this stuff goes through your head. And I stopped making videos. I'd gone from having a terrific 2017, just coming back from Prague, being hit like a truck, and I just stopped making. I just couldn't bring myself to make videos. It's as simple as that. Making videos is, outwardly, it might just seem like, well, you're just playing some games, aren't you? You know, you've heard the phrase, get a real job, you know, from people who just have no clue. But at the end of the day, when all is said and done, making videos is an act of creation. It's something that you have to channel creative energy into doing. It's something I enjoy doing. But I had no motivation. I had no creative energy. I had no willingness to make videos. Problem is, you know, when you do it for a living like I do, you're already contracted to do certain things, you know, things that were signed months ago. So I had to make my widescreen Asus monitor video, for example. That was already on the cards to come out in December. You can't just not do that. It's, at the end of the day, it's your lifeblood, it's your business, it's what you have to do. It's like anything, if you've got a job, you know, your job just doesn't suddenly stop. Dude, are you going to hit me? Oh my god. That was close. So, you know, I did those, got those videos done, and, yeah, you know, you see some comments about, oh yeah, he's only making the videos that make him money, blah, 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 whatever. In terms of making a video, you sit in your room, on your own, you hit the record button, and you game. It's you, the microphone, the game, and then everything that comes out of your mouth is, like I say, it's an act of creation, really. You're trying to entertain, you're trying to make something fun, you're trying to have a laugh, you're trying to do whatever you're doing, but you're still creating something, and I just didn't have the motivation to do that. So I just didn't make videos. So I took some time off. And I streamed, and you might be thinking to yourself now, well, hang on a minute. How is it that you can stream, but you're not making videos? Like, what's going on? You can't... Why can you do one and not the other? Well, in short, like, when you stream, you fire up a game, and you play, and it's kind of like hanging out with friends. Because it's purely interactive. You can see the people in chat. You can see who's, you know, saying things, commenting. They'll say things to you and you reply back, and, you know, it's just very... Oh my god, it's a police car. I received a lot of support and I received a lot of sympathy when I was streaming. And frankly, I needed that. At that point in my life, that's what I needed. I streamed because it was something that I felt capable of doing with a bunch of people who are kind of like internet friends, really. And I don't know, it's just not, it wasn't like an act of creation that required my energy. I just turned the thing on, turned the stream on, started to play, hung out with friends, had a laugh. People sympathized with my situation. And I was able to do it. But when it come to sort of sitting down and making a video, I just couldn't bring myself to do that. Don't know if that's something you can understand or not, I don't know, but I'm just trying to explain the reasoning behind it. So then January came. And the festive streams were over, you know, the Christmas and New Year streams were done. January, everybody goes back to school and back to work and all the rest of it. And the bills start rolling in. And, you know, I decided to take a week off. I'm just going to have some time off. I'm not going to stream. I'm not going to make videos. I'm just going to sort out a load of things. So I threw myself into DIY stuff. Should probably speed it up here. I threw myself into DIY, you know, all the jobs that needed doing around the house that your missus have been nagging you for, you know, the shower that drips, the kitchen unit door that's kind of slightly hanging off, the daughter's door that won't close properly anymore because she's had new carpet fitted, like all the stupid little jobs around the house that need sorting out. I started doing all them. Various trips down to the DIY centre, you know, buy some paint. It was cathartic, you know? It was sorting out stuff physically, which is different to what I normally do. Normally I sit down at my chair and it's all mental, you know? Actually doing stuff physically got me moving, took my mind off things, focused my energies into DIY. So then I started taking my studio apart. You know, I've been thinking about what I wanted to do with my studio, the monitor layout that I want, the desk layout that I want, the cable management that needs to be done, the fact my machine needs to be reinstalled. So I did that as well. I completely pulled my computers apart, pulled every single cable out. Every one. Every audio cable, every power cable, every network cable, everything just came out. Took all my monitors off the wall, took all my brackets off the wall, filled the holes in. Bought new brackets, bought new monitors, boom, put it all back up, relayed it how I wanted it to be, and then I built another desk. Like my desk, you've seen it on my studio tour, it's like a long desk. Well, I wanted another one that came down the side, so I can put things to my right-hand side when I'm recording and streaming. So I went down to B&Q, I bought another worktop, bought some more legs. I've got some pictures you can see as well. But I made a new desk, redid all my cable management, reinstalled my Windows machine, reinstalled my flight sim machine, my Windows machine, swapped some hard drives around, upgraded some bits and pieces, and just, you know, made a fresh start, threw loads of things away, cleaned the place out. Just did things that have been bugging me. I mean, it didn't go straight forward, it wasn't smooth all the way, but it was something that I could just focus on, throw my energy at, and it was tiring, like really tiring. I was doing, you know, 12-hour days physically, which I just wasn't used to, and trying to make the most of the winter sun like daylight, because it's like light for 8 hours maximum. And I was out there with my workbench and my power tools, my saw and everything like that, in my router, and like cutting holes in my desk. And you know, the light's fading, and I'm getting this floodlight out, trying to get the extra things finished, and then having to put all the tools away at the end, covered in dust. But that's DIY, and it was just, you know, it was nice to do. Like I say, it just took my mind off things. It also gave me a lot of personal space. It was just me and DIY, and as well as problem solving, the background thinking, sorting out in your head, like what's happened over the last 6 weeks, everything that's happened to you. And it was just a good thing to do. It's February now. It's February, and I'm ready to come back, you know? I'm sorry for taking a break. I know you guys, a lot of you guys have really missed the videos, and I understand that. I totally get that. But IRL, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes life comes along and just gives you a swift kick between the legs, and you just have to deal with it, I'm afraid. It's what happens. So I should be back now with videos, and you know, I also kind of got to think about what I want to do with the channel, what I want to do with my year. If you've ever lost somebody close to you, then you will know that it takes time to sort of pick yourself up. It can just, it can literally turn your life upside down. And it causes you to rethink everything, because when it happens to you, nothing else matters. Like, everything just fades to grey. Nothing is as relevant as losing your mum, you know? Pretty much nothing. But you'll also know, if you've ever gone through something like that, you'll also know that you come out the other side, you know? You do come out the other side, and when you come out the other side, you're more focused, you're more determined. You have in some ways, you're scarred, but you're also stronger by your scars, you know? The things that change you the most are the things that strengthen you the most. When mortality is right in front of you like that, it makes you appreciate what you do have. And it makes you want to focus on your life a lot more. Strip away the things that aren't important and focus on the things that are. It's beautiful out there, isn't it? Look at that. So, I've started flying again. IRL, that is. I didn't fly for, well, probably about 2 months, I think. I wasn't capable of flying after that happened with my mum, that's for sure. But I've started flying again. I've passed a couple of my exams. I've got 9 exams to do to get my private pilot's license. I also did my first ever solo flight, which I'm very proud of doing. And if you want to see a picture of that, you can see that on my Instagram page, which is squirrel.tv. You'll see a picture of me there stood next to the plane and my instructor being handed a certificate as I got off the plane, having just done my very first solo circuit. My call sign was Student Echo Golf Alpha Papa. That was the plane I did my first solo in. Never forget that, that's for sure. Oh god, I just completely lost my brain. And, yeah, somebody just paid the toll here. Completely not concentrating. So, I'm going to be doing a lot more flying. Not just IRL flying, but flight simming as well. I think the flight sim world is becoming pretty exciting, actually. We've just had a release of DCS 2.5, which was, you know, years in the making. Aerofly FS2's come out. That looks pretty stonking. X-Plane 11 is looking as strong as ever. P3DV4 looks absolutely brill. You know, the world of flying is taking off. Oh, squirrel, you punster. But no, in all seriousness, I have a passion for flying. And what I want to do is I want to sort of show you stuff that I do in the sim, and then show you me doing that stuff in real life, because I kind of figure that it would be quite interesting. And this is something that I want to do more of, is these kind of vlogs. Like, I've bought a couple of brand new cameras, Panasonic GH5 cameras, and stonkingly good cameras, best ones I've ever owned for sure. And the reason I've bought them is because I want to be going out there and doing a lot more, oh dear, I want to be going out there and doing a lot more vlog type stuff. I want to go out and take our simulation love into the real world so that it makes more sense. Like, you know, flying in a sim is wonderful, but then if you can see me flying stuff in a sim and then doing it in real life, it really helps to sort of bring the appreciation of why we love simulation so much, you know? I mean, obviously, I'm benefiting from the fact that I can do it in real life, but I want to share that experience with you. And it will really put it into perspective, I think. Obviously, I can't fly a 737 in real life, it's not going to happen, but I can fly the smaller planes. And I also want to do more stuff in the real world with trucks and trains and buses. Anything I can get my hands on, I'm going to go out and visit places and see these things, see the actual vehicles themselves, and maybe speak to some drivers and things like that. That's something I want to do more of this year as well. So I'll be doing more flying, and I'll be doing more vlog type stuff going forward. And of course, you know, the trucking will carry on. We've got Truckfest coming up in May, Truckfest Peterborough, which I'll be going to. And just to give you a bit of advance notice on this, if you can make it to Truckfest Peterborough, I believe SCS is going to be going, and we're hoping to do some stuff together at Truckfest Peterborough. So hopefully they'll have, you know, a stand or whatever. Maybe they'll bring the trailer with the sim rig in it or something like that. And I'll be there, SCS will be there, so you can come along, meet me, and obviously meet SCS, and just, you know, enjoy hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trucks. So Truckfest Peterborough, go and look it up now, and get yourself some tickets, because I'll be there for that. I'm also planning on going to, and I'll make another separate video on this actually, the Flight Sim Expo, which is in June in Las Vegas. Long way away. Well, both June and Las Vegas, long way away. But if you live in the States, I mean, maybe you live in the West Coast or Midwest or something like that, and Las Vegas, that's not too far for you. So, Flight Sim Expo, I think, is it the 8th and 9th? Or the 9th and 10th of June? It's the weekend. Just Google Flight Sim Expo. That's going to be a cracking event. I've never been to Vegas before, but again, I'm going to take my cameras. I want to make like a vlog trip of the whole thing. I want to show you Vegas. I want to show you. I want to go over to the dam and have a look at that, and whatever sights I can see. You know, I mean, I've flown around Vegas in DCS in a Huey. You know, I know what it roughly looks like from the air, but to go there for real should be, well, great fun. Is what I'm hoping it'll be. So again, I want to make a vlog video of that. So if you happen to be able to get to Vegas in June, you want to come to the Flight Sim Expo, then I'll be there as well. And then, you know, there's going to be other stuff through the year, like the Flight Sim show in Cosford in the UK. That's over in October, so that's miles away yet. Normally I would go to something like Insomnia at the NEC in August. These are just some of the events that I'll be going to. But yeah, new cameras, vlog and IRL stuff, Flight Sim stuff, trucks, trains, that kind of thing, as and when they kind of come out. And of course, you know, buses if we can manage it, depending on what the bus gaming market looks like. Plus, there's lots of other sims I think that are going to be kicking off. I know there's some. I mean, you know, car mechanic sim, crikey. Honestly, I think there's one coming out made by the same people who made car mechanic sim, train mechanic sim. They've brought one out to do with what is it, World War II engines or something? Like, it's exactly the same engine. It's exactly the same game engine, exactly the same game mechanics, but like different graphics and a different setting and different missions. And I can't be bothered with it. I can't even be bothered to make a video to tell you how annoying it is that they just keep releasing the same thing. It's just, I'm done with it. I'm just done with it now. Like, I'm just going to focus on sims that, you know, are a bit more realistic, or, you know, I will make videos on stuff that I think you need to see because, for example, Bus Driver Simulator 2018, right? You can expect a video on that very soon. Why? Because people who love this channel, love simulation, they kind of need to see the good and the bad as well, you know? And I'm not saying it's either, but I'm saying I need to show it to you so you can make the decision. Otherwise, you're just guessing, like you're going to buy a game and you're not really sure if it's going to be worth buying or not. Now, I don't like making videos about games that I don't like. I just don't make them. So people say, oh, are you going to play this? And the fact is, I've already played it and I know that it's rubbish and I don't play it anymore. So I don't make a video saying this game is rubbish, I just don't play it. That's just the way I choose to do it. I'm not the kind of person that likes making videos going, this is absolutely pants and you shouldn't play it. Maybe I should, I don't know. I just don't. So Bus Driver Simulator 2018 is an early access game. I will make a video on that and let you know what I think of it, you know, for good or not. I will make a video and you can take a look at that. And any other new sim games that are coming out in 2018, I think there's a few of them. There's also a game coming out, hopefully in 2018, called Identity, which I don't think you could class it as a simulator, but it's more of a massive MMO type game, really. But it interestingly has things like the ability to own trucks and own a company and make money off other players, and it's intriguing me. Like, I backed it 2 years ago. I think I even made a video on this channel about it. But it looks like it's going to be coming out in some capacity in 2018. So that may be something well, it'll certainly be something I would look at. I would probably look at it on the stream first, have a play with it, before deciding to make a video on it. Because, you know, with a stream, we can just turn it on, start playing it and go, this sucks, let's play something else. But with a video, it's more... I kind of tend to create more packaged videos, you know, so they have a sort of objective in mind to show you something or to review something or to just take a journey or whatever it is. But if it turns out that Identity is not very good, I'm not going to make any videos on it. But we shall see. Skyline and the ground with this mist looks so good. I love this frosty look. Fantastic. I shall certainly miss... I won't miss winter, that's for sure. But I'll certainly miss turning off the frosty mod. I just need to wait for the guy to make a spring mod that's compatible with 1.3 of Euro Truck. But I'm very much looking forward to spring coming. It's February now and it won't be that long now, but I'm kind of done with winter. But today in the UK it is very cold. Well, I say very cold, it's very cold for the UK. If you live in Canada or Norway, you're probably just going, you Brits with your very cold. Oh, you ticklers. But yeah, quite, you know, it is cold for the UK. So us Brits have a right to complain. So I'm there. 76 kilometers left. I hope you've appreciated this video, guys. I hope you've kind of understood the position I was in, what I've had to go through, and why there's been no videos. The channel is most certainly not, and I repeat, not dead, which some people like to think if you don't put a video out for a week. Particularly like a month. They're like, oh, rip squirrel, rip this channel, rip. You know, it's like a meme almost now. People aren't really allowed to take a break for some reason. But breaks have to happen. But I do like to keep you guys updated as to why I took that break, and I hope you understand the reasons behind that. But going forward, yes, I've been making more videos and more content for you to enjoy. Sometimes I'm using a couple of frames here now and again. Wow, he came flying out of there. Blimey. This really does have the fit. This is Rust map, by the way. So, well, actually not in Rust map bit, but I don't know if you saw on the map or not. I'm using Rust map and Pro mods at the moment. And, oh my god, Rust map and Pro mods together give you an insane amount of driving distance in Euro Truck. Like, just crazy amount of driving. And what I love about it is if you, when you're taking a journey, if you kind of reroute the journey slightly, you can give yourself new roads to discover, like roads that you've just never been down, kind of thing. Particularly in Russia, in Rust map, there's always some crazy stuff. Because there's always like crazy drop-off points and narrow roads, and there's like the style here, if you look around, the style here is the roads are, there's no parked cars, you know? Let's put it that way. There's no vehicles on the pavement here, but in Rust map, it happens all the time. You're driving down these roads, and there's like parked cars and just hanging into the roadway, and you've got to sort of negotiate them. And then you come to drop things off, and you're driving down some back alley with skips and dirt everywhere, and you know, and then there'll be some dumpster in the way to stop you from parking easily. Yeah, I love it. It's great. I don't know why SCS doesn't adopt more of that kind of stuff instead of making. I mean, I know they have like, if you look at American Truck Sim, there's a lot of stuff that's a lot more gritty than it used to be. It's not clean, but they need to adopt a bit more interesting stuff. But anyway, sorry, that reminds me, the SCS trip that I went on, you're probably wondering where the videos are for that. The SCS trip that I went on is currently in editing, okay? It's requiring quite a lot of editing. There's footage though, which is, you know, the kind of footage that you would shoot for a documentary. Let me put it that way. Like, I interviewed about 6 or possibly 7 different team members about, you know, what they do, and took footage from around the building. I also interviewed Pavel Sabor one-to-one. I interviewed him, so that's going to be its own separate video, I think. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to dig out footage from some of the things that we talked about, so I can show you on the screen while he's talking. So it's not just a case of watching a video with me sat there with him for, you know, 45 minutes or whatever it is. It's going to be a bit more interesting visually, so that's why things are taking more time, because there's more work to do to make the videos better. I'm trying to up the production value. But you can expect that, I think, within, what are we on now, Tuesday? You can expect that within a week, I would suggest. Don't hold me to that, but, you know, I will have it. It's taking top priority to try and get that thing out for you, so you can see. There'll be 3 videos in total. I think there'll be, the first video will be kind of more of an overview of the whole trip and what it was about. The second one is going to be an interview with Pavel. And then the third one is going to be interviewing the various teams, the people who make this game, you know, the asset guys, the map editors, the sound effects. The sound effects guy is really interesting, because he's the guy that did all the sounds for the new Scania. When I recorded it, the Italia DLC hadn't come out, and neither had the Scania. So I was there in the studio with him, and he was showing me the Scania and how they generate the audio for it, and it was just great. I was like, I just want to drive this truck. But I mean, you know, it came out and we're able to drive it now. But normally that video would have gone out towards the end of November, start of December, something like that, and it would have been out, you know, just after the Italia DLC or thereabouts. Can't be far away now. 2k, okay, we're in here. Yep. Speed limit 60. Ooh, Ferris wheel. Well, it's been a good trip, I think. Time to be just about right. Talked some stuff. Saw some lovely sights, and yeah. Now you know what's coming in 2018 as well. Obviously, the new ATS map's coming out soon. They've announced it, haven't they? Oregon. I want to know what they're doing with ETS, though. They were a bit coy when I went down there. They wouldn't reveal what they're working on. I tried to sort of ask Pavel, you know, tried to eke some information out of him. But he's all very political, you know. Oh, well, you know, we don't know, decide we're going to go east or north, or, you know. Yeah, just tell me. But he's having none of it. The other thing is we managed to do this trip in the daylight, which is cool, because normally this time of year, the days are so short that you take a longer trip and you very quickly run out of daylight. Oh, look at that. Steering axles make this a lot easier, don't they? Just guide it into place. Don't really know why this delivery depot wants a load of Iveco trucks, but, you know, who are we to ask? I think that was a clean run. I don't think we're late, so I think it should be a full payment, full XP. Excelente! What did we get? 669 XP and 23 grand. Chunking into level 82 now, which is not bad. Let's pull it forward. So yeah, that was a Volvo 550 brake, that one. Oha truck. Configured by me on one of the Sunday night trucking shows. But yeah. Hope that explains a few things, guys. And yeah, the videos are going to start coming back now, so let's make 2018 a good year. Please give me a like if you enjoyed the video. And until the next one, take care. Happy trucking.